Hi world, it's Shannon Marie, and it's August 20th, 2015. So I decided earlier that I was not going to make a video tonight. I I've had an amazing day. Just really good day. Um I've had a really good evening so far. It's 9:13 right now. 9:13 p.m. And I decided I'm going to just make my videos tomorrow. But something just came in really strong again. So I'm feeling like I'd be doing myself and you a disservice if I did not make this video. So I'm going to try to make it short and sweet. So it's Thursday right now. And on Tuesday night, I went to have sushi after dinner, after work for dinner. And then I ended up meeting two young people there, and we hung out at dinner, and then I ended up hanging out with them after. And I went back to they live on like a little, it's like one big property, but there's like a bunch of little homes on it, and it's all young Jewish kids. It's like a little compound, I think. I don't know what you call it, but it's like a thing that Jewish people do. So I went to hang out with them, and by 9:34 or something, I looked at my phone and I freaked out, and because I had videos to make that night, and I just decided not to do it. So I'm just kind of going over that night. And then so as I was driving home from their house, I'm in my car and I'm driving home, and all of a sudden it was like a tape. Like it was quiet in my mind, just nothing. And then it seemed like a tape was put in. And then this tape started to play with these words and like this message. That's how heaven talks to me, and the universe and my higher self. That's how everyone on those higher dimensions speak to me. It's like a tape that comes in. It's like it just flows in. It's like my own thoughts in a way, but it always just seems to flow together and make sense. And I've learned how to decipher from the good voices and the bad, because there's good and bad energies around us always, and they both try to influence us. So I've gotten a lot better, really good at deciphering the two. And there's not that much of the negative anymore. It's been a lot of that's been cleared out by a lot of the light work that's been done by the light forces. So that's not really what I'm here to talk about. So I was just I had a really good night. I went to work. Like yesterday was not that great. It was actually not a good day at all for me. Energetically, I just felt bad. I felt off balance, weird, like uncomfortable. My body was aching. I just felt tired and exhausted the whole day. I wasn't hungry. It was just a weird day yesterday. But today was so different, and I just was happy all day, and I don't know, I just love life. It's amazing. And so I'm just riding a wave. I wanted to like chill, not hang out and chill, but I had other work I wanted to do tonight. So I'm like, I'll just make my videos I was going to do tomorrow, on Friday night, since I'm home every Friday night anyway. So, and you know, I'm just dedicated to the light. And I'm dedicated to the light when I say is heaven. God is the central sun in our galaxy. And we've been disconnected from that for so long. And the dark forces came in and disconnected us from that. So that's what the final fight between light and dark is. That's what people talk about, like in the Bible and stuff, and other worldwide religions and things like that. So that's where we are in these days that we're living. It's August 20th, 2015, and I got a really strong message just now. And the fact that we've been so disconnected from our source, let me say that again. The fact that we've been so disconnected from our source for lifetimes upon lifetimes upon lifetimes, the dark forces have just had complete control over this planet. We've been lost humans, like just living life and thinking that whatever the dark presented to us, if it was in a flowery box or if it looked good and if it tasted good, then we just accepted it. But that time is stopping now, and God's light is coming here like no other time in our lifetime. And So the dark is being faded away and the light is being ushered in. So we're in this very transitional phase. And I've known this. I had my spiritual awakening in late 2010, early 2011. And I've been just on this path, on this journey of learning the truth, universal truth, not what someone says in a book. It's me exploring, opening up my energies to my environment, to nature, to other people, to situations, to the truth of the universe. And I get it. So I'm saying all of that because on the drive home, I'll stop you. Last week, I was making notes. I had all this heavenly stuff coming in of videos I needed to make. And I just do it on sticky notes, on Post-its. And then later in the day, I just typed it all up. And it ended up being 2 pages of just stuff I needed to talk about from heaven. Okay? Just like important ass stuff. Like very important topics, conversations that we need to have, videos I need to make to put the topics of these conversations out there for you guys to have them on your own. It's just like, I just feel like things are ramping up. And there was a portion, I was just typing, and when I write and I get into this very like deep zone where heaven just comes through. And I was like transcribing my own Post-its from that morning, transcribing, just writing my notes, and just writing it on the computer. And then all of a sudden, something came through, and it was basically like a message to humanity. Like, I have to get it to see, but I remember I wrote that quick, and then I wrote a note at the bottom saying, "Oh my God, this is crazy. The fact that I'm being told to say this means that we're so close." Like, just the simple fact that I'm being asked to say this to humanity now means that we're so much closer than I thought. And when I say closer, there's an event. There are a number of events that are going to happen before God's light comes here like crazy. Like, the environment has to be cleared out of all the negative, and then God's light is going to come here so strong and so hard. Like, it's like a flash. It's going to be so awesome. But if you're not ready, then you're not going to be ready. So we have to clear out all the negativity of our own energy system, of Mother Earth. We have to take all the negativity out, and we're getting to that point. And then, so there's going to be mass arrests of people in power in the government systems, in the financial systems. Our government and financial systems are going to be reset. Like, that's the beginning of the whole planetary reset. And I don't even think I'm going to post this yet because I don't think that you guys are ready. But when the time is right, I'll say, like, it's August right now. It's August 20th, 9:21 right now. Look at the time. August 20th, 2015, Thursday. Do you see this? I'll just screenshot it so I have it. This is the time. I'm saying this right now. So the fact that a week ago is when I was transcribing my own heaven notes. Heaven was telling me to say my higher self, I believe. Now I'm being able to decipher what heaven, like, okay, I know it's heaven, but who is saying it? What's saying it? Now I'm knowing. I'm learning that a lot of it is my higher self. It's me, it's just my higher self in heaven giving me information. So the fact that alone that I'm like so excited. The fact alone that I was being told to say this to humanity, it was a big deal. I noticed that last week, like, holy shit, what's really happening? And then on Tuesday night, coming home from that sushi hangout night on Tuesday, and it's Thursday now, I was driving home, and it seemed like a tape got put in. I had no thoughts, and then all of a sudden, these thoughts flowed, and they, like, kept coming, and they made sense at the end. And it was, like, all extra powerful and strong, too. Like, I was like, oh, okay. Like, whoa. And then I got home, and then the tape still played. Okay? This tape was still playing. And then I wrote it down, and it was still coming. And it was just repeating itself now at this point. Repeating. I'm like, oh my God, this is, like, wild. This is, like, major. This is like precursor to the event. This is what you're saying to me now. Oh my, we're here? Oh my God, okay. Like, this is feeling, all right? This is on Tuesday. And then Wednesday morning, I'm driving to work. I get up, I get dressed, I do everything. I'm driving now to work now, and the tape plays again, the same of the night before. The same. And then I was told, okay, oh my, this is just crazy. Okay, so it kept coming. It came 3 different times. The same message came in for me to tell humanity. But this is how it came. So in the car, it just came. When I came home, it had, because I was like calm, relaxed, like whatever, in a meditative state when I came home, it had me imagine it as if I were at my fashion show. Okay, so this is how I thought I was going to be announcing it to the people, to someone outside of myself. How I imagined it is, because it kept playing, so every time I was like, the first time I was just saying it, like I was getting comfortable saying the words the first time around. Second time around, I was getting comfortable and more details came in. Again, when it came in more details, and then it was like a solid thing now, like a solid message to give. And then after it got to become a solid message, then I felt myself standing in front of people now saying it. Now I'm at my fashion show, and I took the notes. Hold on. So I'm just gonna say it like this. So it had me say it in front of people now. So now I'm comfortable saying it because I'm like, okay, I've been practicing and it's all filled in. This is what the message is. Now I'm imagining, and now I'm at my fashion show. People are there for the show. I think right after the show is when I make this, because I have an announcement to make on my own that I'm going to say probably at my fashion show. I don't know. It's like a big announcement I'm going to make just about myself. But it's like major, like for the planet. And so I already know. So I already knew I was going to make that announcement. Or I decided that on Tuesday I was going to make that announcement. Then I didn't know how or where I'd make this announcement about myself. But I knew that, okay, so on Tuesday I knew that it would happen at my fashion show. Okay, heaven solidified, agreed that that's the best way to do it. Got it, okay. And then that's when this message got paired with that message. So I was like, oh, that actually goes together. All right. It doesn't make sense now, but you'll see everything later, what I'm saying to you right now. So it had me, my higher self, heaven had me imagining it. Okay, I'm at my fashion show. I'm making this big announcement. Okay, of what I wrote down. This is what I'm imagining at my fashion show. I'm saying it's no accident that you all are here. You have all been called here by the Most High. You've been called here, gathered here by the company of heaven. And I'll say this message. So I did all that like a few different times. Now I'm comfortable saying that message. It might change depending on what happens, like little details, but that's the message I'm to give at my fashion show from heaven, okay? And then after all those times I practiced in my mind at the fashion show, saying it, how I'm going to say it, then heaven dropped a bomb. I don't like that term. Then heaven gave like a game changer. Heaven then said to me, but Shannon, you may have to say this sooner. The fashion show may be too late. You may have to make a video about this. This was on Tuesday, okay? And then here we are Thursday, and I was like, that was kind of heavy. Like, I'm not trying to make a video. I'm on Kickstarter mode, like, get people in. I can't be too weird, you know? I can't be too weird. I gotta still get the people's money. So I want to give heaven, I need to give heaven, like, my heaven perspective and my experience and the messages, but I can't be too weird, you guys. Come on, like, wait. Can we just wait a little bit? So that was the conversation I had about all that on Tuesday. Wednesday morning, I had that conversation again. Like, can I wait though? Like, this is like, can't be too weird, you know? And then just now it came again. The same thing just came again. So I'm here. Didn't want to be here making a video. I have other stuff I want to be doing. But it just came again for the 4th time. So I will now read to you what my higher self, heaven, wrote through me on Tuesday, 2 nights ago. Here we go. So I imagine I'm at my fashion show. Whoever's in the room, you have been called from the heavens. You have been called from the heavens above to now step into your role of pure God energy. Your oversoul has made an agreement for the physical body you are currently in to be a part of this global movement. This movement of light. This movement of the light. Your oversoul has agreed that the life you lived up until the moment before you walked into this room will cease and desist as you are now being called by God. You are needed. There will be a time when your light will need to shine as bright as humanly possible. You will be the light in many people's lives, so you are now being asked to prepare your hearts and minds. You will hear the call just moments before the truth starts to come out. It is up to you to listen and obey, as you are now being called. No outwardly action will be taken at this very moment. You may now go back to your regular life now until you are called. You may live your normal life for 2 years and 6 months. You may go back and live your normal life for 6 months and 4 days. Or you may go back and live your normal life for 6 days. But when the time comes, just know that you have been called to step into the God light, 100% heaven energy. Hold on. It says, and then so before that moment, I am going to prepare, heaven told me in the beginning of this year that I am to prepare and I am to gather a team, like a spiritual MBA. I didn't really know what that meant then. I made a video about it. Heaven is telling me to gather people now. I'm being called to gather people now. My Kickstarter campaign, the t-shirt line is to gather LA girls. This to bring goddess energy. But this is separate. This is empowering all of humans, the humans that are in my energy space, in my energy field, in that room. They are my tribe, if you choose to be. I'm inviting you. So I know that before my fashion show, I was going to prepare a whole list of things to prepare my tribe, my tribe of leaders, as they now will go out into the world, and when the shit hits the fan, they will be the lights lighting up the darkness. It's going to seem very scary, very dark, very confusing. The foundation to the life that we thought that we lived will be ripped out from under each and every one of us, sooner than later. And I'm being called to gather the lighthouses. I need to build them up now, to teach them how to shine their light. So before my fashion show, heaven got me ready on Tuesday night. Shannon, so before your fashion show, you're going to say all this stuff, so you got to prepare. Make a playlist on your YouTube channel of videos that they need to practice, things that they have to practice. Because you can't meet with every single one of them. I will be meeting individually with some of them. I can't meet with all of them one-on-one. So I have to prepare. And then, this is what I was to say. Until we meet again, you are to do whatever, practice energy practices, light, connecting to source, connecting to the planet, connecting to your environment, getting used to utilizing your energy. I have to teach people this now. I'm being told now. This is now. Being told this now. Until we meet again, you are to practice and learn and do all these things. This is an order. from the heavens above. Any and all things in your life, including your spouses, your children, your pets, are no longer priority. Heaven would never say that to you if it was not necessary. Never. Your family, your agreements that you have are priority. For heaven to ever come and say this is real. I'm telling you right now, I know how they operate. This is real. For them to say that, any and all things in your life, including your spouses, children, and pets, heaven needs you to honor your relationships and the connections and all that. It's saying your pets are no longer priority. Your position to fight for the light is first and foremost now. Okay, and then there was another part. I want to be done with this. 20 minutes? Oh my God. And then there was a part, though, that heaven told me that I'm going to say, but I don't know if I feel comfortable saying it, though. There was actually a deeper piece to this. I didn't write it down because I'm like, how could I forget? This is like mind-blowing. I don't have to write that down. I'm going to remember. I could say that all day in my sleep. I know it. I'm not going to say it here. It's actually kind of confidential, but like this is major. The fact that I'm even having this conversation right now, who knows if this happens in 2 years or 6 months or 6 days? I don't know. But I'm telling you, this part I'm uncomfortable with. I'm uncomfortable saying this to people so the people that are going to be in my fashion show, whether you are a model, or if you're a bartender serving the wine, or if you are, like, everybody was chosen to be there. Energetically, you were necessary. It's no accident that we are all here right now. So you're being asked to step into a role. Go out and live your life after this, but you will be asked to step into a role when the time comes. When the shit hits the fan. That's how I was told to say it. And I'm like, heaven, you don't want me to cuss. But that's basically how people understand it. When the shit hits the fan, be ready to step into your role. And just know that you're supported, though, by energy, by heaven. But the humans now have to step into this. The angels, the spiritual guides, the light forces, they can only do so much. Us as humans, this is our planet. We take it back. It's up to us to take it back. The collective consciousness of this planet needs to be one. We have to decide. We have to be on the same page for these major changes to happen at this point. Only so much work can be done for us. Now we have to step into the role and be the change that we wish to see in the world. This is what Gandhi was talking about on a deeper level, on a final level. Final. Final. The energy, the environment of this planet is changing now. This is what I was uncomfortable saying. Because God is speaking through me, asking you to step into this role now. Go out and live your normal life, but just know that when the shit hits the fan, you're going to be called. To be the light, to give messages from heaven to the people. It's going to be very chaotic. You're going to have to learn how to calm your energies. That's why I have to prepare. This is going to be a lot of work for me too. Forget the fashion show on its own. This is planetary. Forget some little t-shirts in a little store after, and some little wine being served, and some musical performances. This is planetary. But this is what I'm uncomfortable saying. Even saying it in my mind when I'm practicing, it was just weird, but it feels right, so this is what it is. You're being asked to step into this role. And because you're doing so, you don't have to decide. If you decide not to, within 24 hours, you have to let me know. We will fill your space. There's a certain number of us that's needed, energetically, to be on the same vibration. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. You're not being forced, but you're being called. You can hang up the phone if you want, but this is a divine offer. Because what I was uncomfortable saying, which is, I mean, how? It's heaven. I'm uncomfortable. Me, Shannon is. Let me take myself out of it. If you do agree to this, your karmic debt from all past lifetimes, dimensions, timelines, and corners of every single universe that has ever existed will be forgiven. This is a major role you are now being asked to step into. It's August 20th, 9:38 p.m. I don't even know why I'm making this video, but I'm being called to do so now. I feel like this sounds so dramatic and so major. But you know, I'm being called to do so by the company of heaven. I'm not going to post this. I will keep this video private until it's necessary for you to see it. And that night, heaven had me practice what to say, get the message right, and then imagine saying it at my fashion show in front of actual people. And actually, in fact, the most important people in my life will be in that room. So they had me practice it like that. And the fashion show is only going to be in less than a month, or less than 2 months. So this means that things are happening a lot quicker. I'm getting all these little hints being dropped. Things are happening at a rapid pace. But the fact that I'm being asked to say this and have it be a comfortable thing for me to speak at my fashion show, and then at the very end of me getting comfortable speaking it at my fashion show potentially, to then say, but you may need to say this sooner. Heaven does in steps. It doesn't just give you a gallon of water and say, here, do something with this. For me, I get a drop at a time. A drop every day. A couple drops if I'm open enough. So, this was the message. I don't know. I mean, my soul knows what this is all about, but my mind is just a little bit confused, I gotta be honest. So, I mean, this is another confirmation of how I could just be a crazy person, but I could also just be a pure channel for heaven. I'm an instrument, and heaven is playing me in front of the world. This is real. When the time is right, I will share this information. But until then, this will stay private. So, again, it's 9:41 on August 20th, 2015. I don't know how things will unfold exactly, but I know that major changes are coming to our planet. And I've been preparing for this for many years. So, on that note, please shine your lights as bright as you can. And I want to say this in closing. I've been told that this was going to be the message at my fashion show, at the end of my fashion show. And then, immediately after that, I was told, you may have to say this sooner. Meaning, you will not need to be in a room for this to be relevant to you. This message could be very much made just for you. If you're listening to it, it was made for you. If you're in your bedroom, this was made for you. If you're at work, probably shouldn't be watching a video, but this was made for you. And as I said here, if you're in this room, you have been called by heaven. The timeline of this unfolding of these final events, it could happen sooner. And as I said here, your oversoul has agreed that the life that you led before you walked into this room will cease and desist, and you will now step into a role for God. We may not make it to my fashion show to have this conversation. It may come sooner. So just understand that the life that you led before you walked into the room that you're sitting in now will cease and desist, and you will now step into a position for God. You are being called by the company of heaven now. All the biblical stories, all the ancient stories from all over the world at different times, the same story. This is now. Right now. And if you're hearing this, you're being called by the company of heaven and the universe. So I don't even know if this video will ever end up coming out. I hope not, because I don't like uncomfortable situations. But this is why I'm alive. And I'm ready. And it's my job now to get you ready without freaking everybody out. So I'm going to go now, and yeah, I'm just delivering a message. So we'll see how it all unfolds. But I have a strong feeling that mass arrests are going to happen, and the truth is going to come out in a way that we've never known it. Our whole history that we thought was our history have been fairy tales, made up stories. And everything that we think are fairy tales and made up stories are actually real. Like, did you know mermaids were real? And dragons were real? And giants were real? And aliens are real? They are our star brothers and sisters. That's a whole different conversation. I love them. By the way, they've done a lot for our planet. But on that note, I'm gonna go. I love you all from the bottom of my heart. And I just feel the need to say, if for any reason I don't get to the final place with everyone, please listen to my words that I've ever spoken to you. And know that they came straight from my heart. And no one's book, no one's message, no one's opinion. It's either my opinion, or it came straight in from heaven, or the planet, or my environment, or nature, or the universe as a whole. Trust and know that. So, I think I've said goodbye 16 times now, but for reals, I'm gonna go. Alright, I love you. Thank you for listening. It's weird, just so serious, but I just feel like this needed to happen, so just trust. That's what faith is. Alright, I love you all.